Hey all, Alex Wilson here from Remax Wealth Builders and Alexjwilson.con. Well, you think Toronto is expensive. Well, you are wrong because we are not. We are still relatively affordable compared to the rest of the world. And we are truly a global city. I posted a great piece about a month ago on my Instagram and Facebook, and I want to take a look at it today. Now let's look at this graphic. What I love about it is they're analyzing it in one currency. So we have a common denominator across all these cities. We're looking at the US dollar. And as you can see, compared to a number of these global cities, Toronto is well below them. Now let's look at some of these cities that are above us. So we look at Boston. Boston on a price per square foot level is 44% more expensive than Toronto. And I think we can all agree that Toronto is better than Boston because who likes the Red Sox, who likes the Bruins, and who likes the Celtics? I'll take the Maple Leafs, Raptors, and Blue Jays every day of the week. Sydney, a great comparable example because often we get compared to the Australian real estate market. Well, Sydney is 47% more expensive than Toronto. Then we go up to San Francisco, which you hear is an expensive market in the US. Well, it's 65% more expensive than Toronto. Now let's look at some of the big boys. London, England is 183% more expensive than Toronto. And then the top city on the list, Hong Kong, is 303% more expensive than Toronto. So when we look at this with this common denominator, we see that Toronto is relatively affordable on the world scale. Now, I wanted to dig a little deeper down and show you that no, Toronto's not expensive and prices are going to continue to increase. I had a very frank conversation with an executive at one of the top builders in Toronto, and I said to him, when you're doing your roundtable meetings, I'm sure you have discussions on where you expect the price per square foot to be in 5 years, 10 years, and into the future. And I asked, what is it going to be average-wise in Toronto in 5 years? And he said, Alex, easily $1,500 per square foot. And he got into the reasons why. When we're looking at if we were doing a pro forma on a new construction project today, and we're looking at land cost, construction costs, which includes labor and materials, which is increasing, development charges, which are charged by the city, sales and marketing expenses. On top of that, the interest expense on these projects, which is increasing as well to finance these projects. A pro forma on paper for a project today, it's going to cost a builder well over $1,000 per square foot before they factor in any profit component. So any new supply that's launching now, if they're purchasing a piece of land, it's over $1,000 per foot. That's their hard cost. So anything new will be over $1,000 per square foot launching wise, and that's what we see pricing at today. So the new supply is going to be more and more and more expensive because builders can not build it for any less. And we're seeing the result of that, these rising expenses today with project cancellations. In the last 18 months, we have seen 12 projects canceled, including 2 major projects in Vaughan, which themselves are over 2,700 units. And this impacts our future completion rate, which is new homes being completed in the future. Less supply and ever-increasing demand will lead to higher costs. So now we get to where that executive, $1,500 per square foot on the resale market in 5 years, average is what he expects. It becomes a realistic picture. And also when we look at the relative affordability compared to the rest of the world, Toronto is still a deal in regards to the pricing of real estate. Now you guys must all think I'm mad, but the proof is in the statistics. In 2017, we only had 38,000 completions on the market. And as I discussed, we have projects that are canceling, which is impacting the supply of future homes that are coming on the market. Higher costs. We need 50,000 homes a year, according to Build, to have a healthy real estate market, and we are not getting that. Now, who needs to live in these homes? Well, this is immigration. Now we look at the immigration numbers. Immigration numbers are ever increasing wise. We are looking at increasing to over 320,000 new immigrants into Canada each year. Now, your solution may be, okay, Alex, let's not let so many people into the country, and this will alleviate the housing crunch. Well, guess what? I also posted another great statistic the other day, probably last few weeks ago, on migration to immigration's impact on the economy. Now let's look at Citibank's big sprawling report, and it gives us a much clearer picture on the impact of migration and immigration on the economy, the positive impact. So if we look at between 1994 to 2014, without this immigration and migration effects, growth in the US would have been 15% lower. And when we move over across the pond to the United Kingdom and Britain, it would have been 20% lower. And in Southern Europe, 20 to 30% lower. So if you're going to reduce your immigration numbers, you're going to have a negative impact to your economy, because immigration has a positive impact on the economy. So reducing the number of individuals coming to the country is not a great answer to solving the housing crisis. So what does this all mean? The net effect is increased prices in the city of Toronto. So buckle your seatbelt, guys. The prices of real estate are going to continue to increase in the city of Toronto. And guess what? That's okay. From everyone at Alexjwilson.com, making your real estate dreams come true. And to book your consultation, email me at contact@alexjwilson.com or call me /text 416-996-5181, and we will help you retire early and build generational wealth through the investment in condos in Toronto and the Greater Toronto Area. Looking forward to speaking with you. Talk soon. Bye-bye.